Hey everybody, Kyle Goth here from GoatFilmReviews.com and the Goat Film Reviews YouTube channel with another unboxing video for you. This one's a bit of a rarity. We're not going to be unboxing like a specific set today. We're going to be hanging out right here as I unbox this package I got from Creator VC, the people behind In Search of Darkness, In Search of Darkness 2, recently In Search of Tomorrow. This is an item I helped crowdfund for In Search of Tomorrow, so I love to get an actual Blu-ray set of the movie, and they send out a couple other things. We're just going to look over it together. Basically, as I try to convince you to please crowdfund In Search of Darkness 3, help crowdfund In Search of Legends, their fantasy film that's upcoming, as well as one that I'm very excited for and very heartbroken that there hasn't been much movement on, Nightmare City, which is the investigation of Italian horror. This recently had some news come out that said that they weren't going to be moving forward with it at the time, but hope to do so in the future when things are more financially viable to do so. And that breaks my heart. So let's help out the team behind these movies and make sure that In Search of Darkness 3 is great, In Search of Legends is great, their Alien film that's coming out, it looks really interesting, and help get something else going so that we can get Nightmare City, or Nightmare Cinema, because I'm just heartbroken that that movie is currently not moving forward. But for those of you who don't know what In Search of Tomorrow is, it is a 5-hour-long super doc, which is a very lengthy documentary going through the entirety of 80s science fiction. And they cover as many movies as they can in that time period, but granted, there's some that they missed. We'll probably get In Search of Tomorrow 2 down the road. But if you're a fan of these like super docs, I like to think of them as like, you remember like VH1 used to do like the I Love the 80s? That's kind of what these documentaries are, except they're only covering movies. You know, instead of I Love the 70s, 80s, 90s, whatever VH1 did, where they got comedians in and they kind of talked about big events in pop culture. This is just the movies of a specific genre, and they go as far as they can with like about 10 minutes for each movie. They don't deep dive into a lot of this stuff. If you want to know more, you'll have to do that. But it's a nice, like, I find it to be a very relaxing comfort food documentary. That also, just like, if you haven't seen half the movies that are on the list, I just have my Letterboxd app out and I'm like, watch list. So we're going to open up the box that I got from them today. I already cut it open, but let's just kind of dive in together. So this is what you get if you join their tiers for the Blu-ray set. I wanted the Blu-ray of the movie. That's why I did it. This other stuff is just kind of perks, but hey, I'm totally okay with it. So this right here is the 300-minute long In Search of Tomorrow Blu-ray. The definitive 80s sci-fi documentary. I love the poster for it. There's a discussion with the creators on here as well. This is a widescreen disc. Written and directed by David Weiner, who I think has done some really great super docs here. I'm just really happy to have this copy in my home. I'm very much looking forward to it. What else did they send? They sent a pin here as well. That we'll just get this open, so we'll get the cellophane off so we can get a better look at it. It's a pin, looks like a spaceman kind of a pin. I didn't honestly know what was with this set. As soon as I realized that I could still crowdfund this movie, I went online and I did so. Spaceman pin right there. You can see that a little bit. Pretty cool little spaceman pin. I've recently kind of started using more of these on my work bag just to add some extra flair to it. So, and in here we've got some posters. One of them is very much the front cover of the movie on Blu-ray, but we're going to take a look at what the whole set is, because I don't know what to do with these posters, because like I don't have any more space on my walls to put them up, but they're such cool looking posters. I'm going to find a spot to hang them somewhere. So this first one right here is In Search of Tomorrow. I like this shot of all of the space guys kind of right there. So In Search of Tomorrow right there. That's really cool. I love this poster. I think it's great. We've got another one. This was the one that I got as a card, like a postcard looking poster originally that came with, and I thought this might be the cover of it, but this is another one. I really love this poster for the movie. So let me make sure that's visible here. Big spaceman helmet with all of our favorite heroes and villains from the time. Yeah, this is another great poster. Again, I don't know where I'm going to put it in my house, but I have to find a spot because I really do dig the hell out of these posters. All right. And the third and final poster that came out is another landscape one showing just a whole lot of goodness here. Right there. Lots of characters, lots of our favorite, some of our favorite deaths, favorite monsters, favorite people in the background of our favorite 80s sci-fi stuff. And to be honest, I really did the In Search of Tomorrow one kind of on a whim, just because I really like their horror stuff. My heart is always with horror. So I did the In Search of Tomorrow just because I was like, hey, they did a really good job. I don't know if I'll watch Tomorrow as much as I watch Darkness because I'm just more into horror. But I also thought to myself, In Search of Darkness 1 and 2 are streaming on Shudder. I don't know where this one would stream. It might go to Shudder, you know, but like, where would it go? I'm not sure, and I don't want to miss out on my chance to do it. Yeah, I took part in it because I was just like, man, the other two were really good. So I'm taking part in the fantasy one, I'm taking part in the sci-fi one, and of course In Search of Darkness 3, just because I was such a fan of the other ones. They also have one called First Person Shooter that I'm not as big into video game lore as other people, but I know a lot of people that are into video games that have talked about how FPS is a really great first-person shooter documentary that they've been working on. I didn't crowdfund that one just because I got to pick and choose where my money goes, but if you're into that kind of stuff, might as well. They got a little, I guess, a card for In Search of Darkness 3 with the location on it. The epic conclusion of the trilogy will shine spotlight on the straight-to-video horror classics that define the era and will be available to order in October. And then over here, they also have Aliens Expanded, the ultimate companion to Aliens. This is a rarity because it's like kind of the first time I've seen them doing one on just one movie. So I'm very curious to see how that one turns out. Because I mean, they've like scene-by-scene breakdown of Aliens. Pretty interesting. Hopefully they cover the extended cuts. It's a better cut of that movie. What else we got in here? I think this is the last thing in here. We got a sticker sheet, I think this is stickers for it. So it's stickers of the posters, stickers of the title card, and just some like little tiny ones as well. I might make buttons out of these. I don't know. Maybe I'm crafty. Feeling crafty today. But that's what came in the package. In Search of Tomorrow, really, guys, it's just me telling you that if you're interested in 80s nostalgic super docs, In Search of Tomorrow is fantastic. Very engaging. Watch list that I consider myself, I mean, I've seen like, 4,000 movies at least in my life. I added 100 movies from this doc alone that I hadn't seen. Like, 100. Well, they were also from like their social media pages. I probably found a total of 100 I hadn't seen. But like, there's a lot of movies on here that I hadn't even heard of that just after hearing them talk about it, I was like, well, I've got to see this, right? I have to. So that's what I did. Is it's a comfort food kind of a movie, and I really enjoy that. You know, I don't want every film I ever watch to be heady. Sometimes I just want to celebrate the things I love. And honestly, if you had told me that VH1 was putting I Love the 80s on DVD, I'd probably buy those seasons too, because they were just kind of a nice, relaxing thing to have on. I'd stop my TV every time I got to them and be like, oh, yeah, the 77's on. Let's watch that one, you know? That's how I feel about these. Is like, In Search of Darkness and In Search of Tomorrow, if they were playing on TV and I came across them, I'd be like, yeah, you know, we'll stay here for a bit. And I just keep watching wherever I got in, because they're just utterly enjoyable journeys through the 1980s, which is some of the best time I've ever had for filmmaking, which is funny because I was born in 1990. But honestly, folks, check out In Search of Tomorrow wherever you are able to. When the opportunity does come out to get In Search of Darkness 3, I think it might still be possible to order on that. Please do so. And while you're doing that, check out Aliens Expanded, check out In Search of Legends, In Search of Darkness 3, and get your voice heard. If you want to be part of Nightmare Cinema, tweet at them about it. Let them know that we want this movie, because I do think that if the need is there and if people are vocal about it, I think they will end up making it. But it's just a question of can they spend the money making a movie on Italian horror cinema? Will enough people watch it? I really want Nightmare Cinema to be made. So please help me out. But thank you guys for joining me for this unboxing video. Again, check out the movie that I listed below here as well, and give me your thoughts on it once you've seen it. If you're a fan, if you did crowdfund it, look for my name in the credits right over there as well. And we'll see you next time.